Hello everyone, I'm here with another knife review. This is the Benchmade Nakamura 484-1. Basically that -1 means that it's going to have carbon fiber, it's going to have S90V blade steel, super steel, it's freaking awesome stuff, and it's going to have some blue on it somewhere. Pretty much my interpretation of what the -1 represents when you see it on a Benchmade. So to kind of further justify that, the 940-1 with a different blade in it, but I'm just saying it comes with the carbon fiber handle, the blue standoffs, and normally it comes with the S90V blade steel in it. I just swapped out for a different blade. Anyway, that's what this has. Except really cool anodized aluminum pivot crown, I guess you could call it, which looks very, very nice. Same thing on this side. Beautiful carbon fiber, which is sculpted and molded. You've got a nice angle there on both sides for your thumb to get in on the thumb stud. And once again, the 3 blue anodized pillars or standoffs. As you can see, it has blacked out steel liners, which adds a little bit of weight. They are contoured with some milled lines here that just kind of give you a little bit more character to the handle. And as you can see, all the edges are chamfered. To add a lot of comfort there. And like I said, handles are contoured. So this thing is super comfortable. Very, very comfortable in the hand. If you have really large hands, might not be the best option for you, because the way they have these finger grooves in here, they're kind of tight on each other. So I have medium-sized hands, and it works pretty well for me. I even have a little bit sticking out the back there, but it's like almost like a perfect fit, maybe even a little bit small for me. So again, large size hands, you may feel a little bit cramped on this. Large or extra large. Very smooth action right out of the box. I did have to tweak it a little bit. I've been noticing a lot of Benchmades, and especially the 940. I'll take a step back and make a comparison. Watch my other videos before I did the modifications. Notice that the blade is leaning to the left on the 940-1. It was like that before I swapped out the blades. It was not correctable because the subframe on this was not cut properly out of the carbon fiber, the indentation for the subframe. So it laid in too deep on the left side, pulling the blade centering off. Good news on this one, even though it is slightly to the left, it's not really dramatic, and you can correct it and center it perfectly. I just haven't done it yet. Well, I did it at first, but then the pivot loosened up because they didn't put Loctite on it. So I put Loctite on it and forgot to center it. Lucky for me, it's, like I said, is really not that far off center. It's just a little bit to the left. So they did a much better job centering their blade on this one. So that's great. Once I Loctited it to the perfect tension, zero blade play, because there was a little before, and it is just buttery smooth, this action. Very, very, very nice. And it looks really nice too. I love the design. Black thumb stud. Has a really steep thumb ramp there with some really good jimping. The jimping on it is paramilitary 2 quality. A little bit different in design because it's flattened on top, but it works just as well. And that's saying a lot if you've ever handled a paramilitary 2. It handles, the jimping is just perfect. You have that almost spear point design with the swedge on the back there. You have a really nice stone wash finish. 3.08 inch blade. And as I said before, S90V blade steel. Oh yeah. That's the good stuff. First production, that's pretty cool. 36 out of 1,000. Pretty awesome. Flow through design. You have that weird looking phallic clip. I'm not a huge fan of it either, but it works. Big problem with the tension though. I can fix it, but dear Lord. It's a nightmare to get in and out of your pocket. Definitely requires 2 hands. Not a fan of that. So I'm going to be yanking on that and getting that fixed. So, yeah. But great knife. $267, $270. You know, I don't really look at many Benchmade knives and say, that's a steal. I don't buy them because they're a steal. I buy them because, well, they have good steel and they have good quality and design, and I just overall am a big fan. But yeah, I don't think it's a rip-off by any means. You have some amazing blade steel. You do have contoured carbon fiber. It's very, very comfortable. And you have some nice little subtle touches that really make it pop. So it's a pretty sweet knife. I say it's well worth the money. Do want you to realize it's not a very big knife. Okay, it's very similar to, let me give you some comparisons here. 3.08 inch blade. The smaller emissary, the 470, has exactly a 3-inch blade. Little narrower, more streamlined overall footprint, much lighter. Much, much lighter. The emissary is like 2.2 ounces. That's got more than an ounce heavier on it. And it's because of those steel liners they put in there. They should have at least drilled them out. They didn't do that. As you can see, no holes, no milling, no drilling, whatever. I think that's a miss. They definitely should have done that. So emissary is comparable. It's just a little bit smaller. This has a 2.95 inch blade, the Benchmade sequel. Okay, again, much lighter. .6 ounces on that. And then this is customized, but it's the Benchmade Mini Griptilian with S30V blade steel. And that's got I think a 2.9 inch blade. So I'm kind of going just by blade length, longest to shortest. But if you look at all these, even though this has an aftermarket handle on the Mini Griptilian, here's what I think that this Nakamura is most closely related in size to the Benchmade Griptilian. It's just a little more chunky and robust. And that's what a normal Griptilian handle looks like. Okay, so they're similar. They're a little bit thicker and chunkier of a design for a small everyday carry knife, but it's still a small EDC, so it's very comfortable in the pocket. And let me tell you something, out of all these knives I was just showing you, it's a real close run-in with the original handle on the Benchmade Mini Griptilian. It's a very close comparison as far as comfort goes to the Nakamura, and the Nakamura takes it. It is ridiculously comfortable in hand. Okay, but again, like these comparisons, $270 for that. You can get a sequel for I think like $120 maybe, 130. I mean that's That's a big difference. And if you're not looking for super steels, you know, this one has the M390. This one's like more like 220. But if you want like S30V blade steel, yeah, you save a ton of money. And aluminum, it'll be lighter. It's a little bit smaller though. And it really feels a hell of a lot smaller in the hand. It just feels like half the knife. It really does. It's the design of the sequel. You know, you can't really use the blade as a thumb ramp to allow your hand to slide forward. You have to use the handle, so it ends up feeling like a tiny little knife in your hand. The Nakamura, not so much. I can really use my thumb to slide forward on the back of the blade, and now I have this whole knife in my hand. It doesn't feel like a little tiny, you know, neck knife or something tiny like that. The Griptilian, this has a little bit more real estate now because of the aftermarket handle that I put on there, but the factory one, not as small as the sequel, but definitely didn't feel as hand-filling as the Nakamura. Back to saving money. This is about $100 less, and it's an awesome option. It's super lightweight, carries deeper in the pocket, has a much better pocket clip, but you're not going to get the same quality blade steel. You have S30V in here. For the use that you're going to have with this type of knife, who cares? It also has assisted opening. I'm not saying that matters, just an observation. Super light, super streamlined. You'll forget it's in your pocket. It's going to do everything that this knife is going to do based on what you're probably going to actually use them for. And it's $100 less. Just saying. But if you want something that looks like that, which I'm impressed with, I think it looks gorgeous. If you want something that looks like that and feels like that in the hand and has one of the better blade steels on the market available in knives, S90V is one of the better ones out there. You know it's going to hold a crazy edge for a long time. It's going to cut like crazy. You know it's going to look good and it's going to be unique. You know it's going to feel great in your hand, and it's more of a gentleman's folder. You know, it's a fancy piece. It's a little bit, you know, it's kind of collectible if you ask me. So if you're really looking for something like that, well, then guess what? This is the way to go, and it's probably going to be worth that price for you. So anyway, thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any other thoughts or questions about it, and have a great day.